Hi. So I just wanted to share some insight why I'm so spiritual and why I think Albert Einstein was so spiritual as well. So I've used this penny in a balloon example a lot of vibration causing two dimensions of energy, right? There's one that's rotation, and then there's another that's caused by the angular force from the center of the rotation. Now, if you wanted to imagine what that would look like in one balloon, if you could use both of those forces, you would have to make a donut, right? And then as you were spinning the balloon, it would have to go around the inside, right? So it's creating a pathway in which that linear force can be used. And what Albert Einstein was talking about is that's a black hole, right? It's a wormhole that creates loops of time. Well, that's exactly what your body is. If you're looking at the center, where my fingers are touching, that's your heart, right? It's the center of a vortex which creates a toroidal flow, so that you experience flowing through your veins as well as through your veins, right? So it's flowing on two dimensions at the same time. So no matter what you're looking at, that's the main difference between what Einstein was talking about and what Sir Isaac Newton was talking about. Because these two equations, aside from that, are almost identical, right? See, the only difference between Isaac Newton's force equals mass times acceleration and Einstein's energy equals mass times the constant of light squared is the fact that Einstein broke out the two forms of acceleration that happen in entropy or implosions. So the reality is everything in our universe adheres to the laws of entropy, implosion. It's what makes you able to pull in energy. It's the sense of gravity that pulls things towards each other, right? As these black holes resonate, they create sound waves that push things together. And so when Einstein's looking at all this, and you look at the interdimensional, right? Because it's not just c squared after you crack that egg. Now all of a sudden, every dimension that you look at is attached to another dimension. And they say, well, there's 11 dimensions in the universe because atoms are connected to molecules. Molecules are connected to cells. Cells are connected to the body. The body is connected to the rotation of the planet. The rotation of the planet is connected to the rotation of the sun. The rotation of the sun is connected to the rotation of the galaxy. The rotation of the galaxy is connected to the rotation of the universe. And the reality is, it just keeps going on forever because it's a multiverse. Because even outside of the universe, there's just other universes. It's fractal, right? So the entire universe is an atom in another universe that's fractally so much larger than us that we can't perceive them. And that's the idea of being able to, or what CERN's trying to figure out as far as creating a barrier or a stable wormhole between two dimensionally different places. Like if you could expand the dimensions of human body exponentially, what would happen eventually if you were to spread apart the electromagnetism of the body exponentially? Eventually, what would happen? That's the idea of expanding your mind to infinity, is you realize there is not such a thing as a universe, right? I have my own particular reality where things are unlimited, right? And then there are other people that live in a totally different reality in their own mind, and because we're all universes within ourselves. And I think that's kind of what Albert Einstein was getting at. He says there's not any like God looking over us, but there's this divine order that creates these magnificently complex things to take place, because it's not entropy, right? It's not falling apart and slowly decaying. It's entropy. the falling apart and the decaying, the only thing you're seeing is transformation from one thing to another thing as it continuously reforms itself. So there's, what you think of as decay, or what you think of as destruction, or what you think of as death is actually transformation, because it's all centropy. It's all being transformed. And one thing transforms into another thing. It doesn't end. It doesn't ever stop. It's resonance, right? Black holes are resonating. They cause fusion in suns, which is resonance, which interacts with the iron core of the planet, which is rotating, which is harmonic resonance again. And a heartbeat, harmonic resonance again. It's electromagnetic resonance. And that's what life is. It's flowing through matter. It isn't matter. And it never has been matter, and that's why they've always said mind over matter. And that's one of the things that, a lot of the debate was always about, is they wanted concrete answers of saying what's possible and what's not possible. The mind creates and manifests possibility based on the imagination. So the imagination determines what's possible. Because what's the difference between a really powerful imagination that can create anything it imagines, or being able to see the future? I don't know that there really is one, and certainly not one that's worth even making the distinction, because that's how powerful the human imagination is, and that's why Einstein had so much reverence for imagination over knowledge as well. So I just wanted to share some thoughts with you, and I hope you have a wonderful Monday.